What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the 20th episode of FAMcast. Pretty awesome episode today. We're going to try a little different format. We're going to start doing about 30-minute increments. Going to try and cut it in half. I got some feedback that people might like a little bit of a shorter episode instead of a full hour, so we'll see how it goes. So definitely let us know what you think of the shorter format in the comments. See if that works out a little bit better for everyone. But as far as topic, we actually got a new trailer for the Resident Evil 7 DLC, the two-part DLC. So we're going to talk about kind of what we thought of the trailer, what we hope to expect, and maybe where that'll lead the future of the franchise here. I feel like it's appropriate to kick it off with RE Master himself, Tim. So you saw the trailer for the new DLC, right?
A few times, yes.
Okay, so we know it's split into two parts. We've got the Zoe DLC, then we've got the... was it no hero?
Not a hero.
Not a hero. So what did you think of both of those after seeing the trailer?
So the trailer I thought was kind of interesting because I'm a little confused, and not necessarily in a bad way, but so it's a two-part DLC, right? Well, not two-part DLC. They're two separate DLCs. Not a hero DLC, which was supposed to come out in March, and then the Zoe one, which was I think more of a new announcement. The trailer itself, I mean, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but wasn't that mainly showing off the not a hero DLC of Chris?
That's what I got from it. Like, for the most part, it seemed to show Chris gameplay, and then it kind of towards the end it showed a little bit of the Zoe stuff.
Right. Now, and maybe we're wrong. Maybe not a hero is actually separate from that gameplay. Maybe that gameplay is different. I don't know. If so, it'd be really weird to have two big Chris Redfield DLCs with Zoe on the side.
Right.
Right. But as far as what we've seen, though, like, it looked really good. It looked like a lot of fun. The molded, once again, are in it, and I'm hoping we see different enemies.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's cool. The molded were neat when the game first came out and everything, but one thing that I felt with the first game, or with Resident Evil 7, and it was fun all the way through, and I had a blast with it, but it was just the same enemies. You know, there was like three different enemies, right? You had the molded, you had the bloaters, and then you had the super quick crawly ones.
Yeah. The little creepy crawly
There's
things.
a sword arm one. Can't forget about that
Yeah,
one.
I mean, I guess there's a modified molded that has like a bigger arm and stuff, but like there wasn't a whole lot of variation, which, I mean, granted, I guess if you look at Resident Evil in a whole, there's not a whole lot of variation in terms of zombies. Like if you got Resident Evil 1 or 2, there's dogs, lickers, and zombies, more or less. But I don't know. The gameplay looked like a lot of fun. It looked good. Graphics still look great. I'm excited for it. I'm very excited to see the story of Lucas. Like, I'm excited to see more about Lucas in that whole aspect.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest things that, at least from playing Resident Evil 7, you end it and it's like, there's so many loose ends. Like, what happened to Zoe? Like, you just leave her behind after you take off in the boat, but you don't really see what happens to her. And then you get away from Lucas and you don't see what happens with him. So there's just a lot of loose ends, so I'm glad they're using this DLC to hopefully tie it up.
Right. I'm also hoping that they, like, with this DLC, it kind of also helps tie into the rest of the series, like what's been going on, you know, since Resident Evil 6, where's everybody been, what's Chris been doing, what is this new umbrella, you know, that whole thing. So I hope we get a lot of connections.
I hope so too. I obviously don't know as much as you both do. I'm still fairly new to the franchise, but I'm still interested to see where this new umbrella, and that's what they call it, right? It's just New Umbrella.
That's what.
So Chris is a part of New Umbrella now, right? So it's just blue instead of red, and somehow Chris is a part of it. So who knows how that came to be? So hopefully we find out a little bit more about that.
It's interesting because, like, knowing Umbrella and what they do, right? What the original Umbrella stood for, like, that's not something I would ever want to make new. Like, I would just bury that and leave it buried forever. Like, there's definitely better things. I mean, the BSAA, you know, was solid. You could have just done something with that if you wanted to make your own thing. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Right? Shiva. That was. But Trey, you're big into the series as well. What is your opinion on this?
I mean, of course, Resident Evil 7 was an amazing game. I loved it. I'm hoping this DLC fleshed out the story. Because, like Trevor was saying, there were definitely a lot of loose ends that need to be tied up or lengthened. In the trailer, was that Lucas that kind of woke up? Like his hand twitched? I don't know if anyone saw
Hand
that.
twitched. I don't remember
Yeah, there's
that
like
scene
a there's like a
specifically.
little like zoom in on a body and like the a hand twitches. I was thinking it was going to be Jack, but I kind of figured Jack exploded. I don't think he would.
Yeah, because he turned into
Spoiler
the
alert!
goop.
Sorry.
Mhm.
Because I don't know if he like reverted back down to a human form or what, or if that was
Because I
Jake
thought he
Well, he got
or not
injected
Jake,
with
Lucas.
with the stuff.
Jack got
Yeah.
injected with the like antivirus stuff
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
and got all moldy and fell apart.
That was gross.
Yeah, that was pretty disgusting.
I just, oh man, I'm hoping the not a hero, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm hoping that DLC isn't like stupid action packed. I hope it's still scary at to some extent.
I feel like
'Cause
it's going to be action packed.
Man, that's
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that just because one of the things that made 7 scary is you didn't really have a whole lot,
Right.
which I think is kind of key to any survival horror game is they don't give you a lot of weapons. But now that Chris is going in there, he's going to have a lot of weapons. Like he's going to have, his armor and everything.
Wesker's gun.
Right.
Right.
He's gonna be loaded. He's done this, and I've said this for a lot of the newer Resident Evil games, like 5 and 6. Like I know 6 was terrible. I get that, and I know, but I think a lot of the reasons it was bad is because you have these reoccurring characters, right? Like Leon, like Chris, and all of them, who have been through this stuff before, and they're not going to get scared. And I feel like if the character you're playing as is prepared, not scared, you're not going to be scared, right? Like that's just an
Right.
extension of yourself.
That makes sense.
So, like, going into this DLC, I'm fully expecting for it just to be, for me, not scary, but story-driven, hopefully.
I
Like
hope
they
so.
even had the part of where Lucas attacked Chris and he's just like slashing at him with a knife like all Chris is just gonna punch you in the face and you're gonna be out. Like
Yeah, he punches boulders, dude.
Right. That classic scene.
What if this?
So,
what if this Chris is a clone though, man? Like I think I've heard that rumor going around.
That'd be interesting. I wouldn't put it past Umbrella to do something like that. Why not take, like, your arch rival, so to speak, and make a duplicate of him, but make
Right.
him bad.
right. We've never seen that happen in games or movies before, so
Never
it would
happened.
Ever.
be a twist. Do you guys think we see any other cameos from other reoccurring Resident Evil
Ada.
characters?
Ooh, that'd be dope.
My
I'd
bets
love
are
to
on
see
Ada.
Huh.
I'd like to see Ada.
Only because she likes to play that middle ground between
Mm-hmm.
people, so she could still be, a mercenary for Umbrella or something, or
Mm-hmm.
she could be helping out BSAA, or she could just be doing her own thing now. But I think she's gonna make an appearance.
What's interesting about Ada is Ada used to always work for. She was hired by Wesker, and she kind of did Wesker's bidding for a little bit. So it would be very interesting to kind of see what she's doing now on her own. I'd be interested to see that.
I'm curious
Especially
about
'cause
Claire.
how many years did they say after Resident Evil 6 does this take place?
I don't think there's a year set. I mean, I could be wrong. I just know it does take place after the events of Resident Evil 6. That's what they've
Okay.
said. And maybe that's like the surprise still, is we don't know how much after. Maybe
Maybe
it
I
was,
should play Resident Evil 6.
Have you not played it?
No, because I've watched it once and I was like, oh my god, this is terrible.
I'll co-op it with you.
Let's do it.
There's 3 parts to it. You have Jake's, you have Leon's, and you have Chris's, right?
Mhm.
So Leon's is the more of the scary,
Traditional,
quote unquote,
yeah.
scary, traditional Resident Evil, and it's fun. That part, that of the main campaigns was a fun time.
What about
Jake's was okay. Jake's kind of just pissed me off more than anything. And then Chris is just an action game. Like, that's what Chris's was the whole time.
Jeez.
It's like playing Gears of War Resident Evil style.
Oh my
That's like what I felt
gosh.
like.
Yeah.
But I would be interested to go back through it just to get a refresh on the story, to be honest with you, because I remember when I was playing it, I was just kind of so pissed about it that I didn't really pay a whole lot to the story, just because I was mad
Yeah.
at a few things. And I'm kind of mad that, and maybe this is selfish, I'm mad that Jake is Wesker's kid.
Of course.
That bothers me.
It's natural,
That-
yeah. I mean, I was kind of salty about that when I heard about it. And I was like, what? What is
Like,
this
they're just doing that
nonsense?
to appease people. I feel like that's all that
Right.
character was to appease people. Like, Wesker died, and he died he's
Valiantly.
dead, right? Like he died. He was up until that point of his death. He was achieving his goal that he wanted to, right? And
Yeah, he's such a good. Yeah, he's such a good villain.
right,
Oh my gosh.
he was such a good villain, and by far my favorite villain in any series. And he did so well, and he got so close. And I feel it was right that of all the people to stop him, it was Chris, right?
Of
That
course.
makes sense. I'm completely
Naturally.
content with that as well. But like, stop bringing him back up. There's people I talk to that don't think he's dead. I'm like, bro, he was swimming in lava and a rocket went through his head. If he's not dead, I'm pissed. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm hoping that last movie that came out. I'm hoping they kind of.
Have you not
Tight.
seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
I mean, it'd be cool to
Yeah.
have some ties to the actual series instead of just using characters and being like, "Oh, yep, this is another dude who's trying to do bad stuff with his hair
Right.
slicked back like Wesker."
You mean the animated one that we watched?
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of
What was that
wish.
called?
I wish people would start doing
Vendetta.
that.
Yeah.
Like I wish they'd just like make these really cool movies, but actually tie them into the storyline instead of being like, "This happened one time. That was it."
Other worlds are so frustrating to me. It's like they come up with these cool ideas, but it's not canon. It's
Right? Like I thought the movie was pretty cool.
It was neat.
You know, it wasn't bad.
I think
Could've been better.
Damnation was better.
That was the airport one.
I believe so, yes. Because there was. Well, this is the third one, right? This is the third animated one.
I think so.
There was Damnation, Vendetta. What the heck was this? What was the other one? I can't think of it, but whatever.
I don't know.
There's solid movies. The animated movies are solid. The live action movies can go to hell.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Circling back to the DLC real quick, because they talked a little bit about it. Like they gave a little bit of information saying that there's already been a team that's gone in before Chris, and they were unsuccessful. Like Lucas
yeah.
captured them, is like doing experiments on them, and there's gas chambers and stuff. Do you think how big of a role do you think that's going to play? Do you think we're going to be going in as a rescue? Like, are we supposed to save these people, or what do you expect from the gameplay?
So I feel like the only way they could really tie that in is while you were rescuing Ethan, another group was sent to go try to capture, Evelyn or Lucas or whoever else was alive, right? So while you
Right.
were helping out Ethan, shit happened with the second squad, and now it's okay. We got to go try to rescue them because that didn't go well. That's in my mind how I feel like it's gonna go. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because they kept mentioning these like these gas-filled dungeons and stuff. Like you're gonna have to make it through. All they kept mentioning poison gas specifically, so you're gonna have to make it through to get to Lucas.
And I mean that makes sense because Lucas is a genius
Yeah.
with
But yeah,
booby traps.
they also had that. It was like a big mine. Like they had that big. Like it looked like a big, almost like a circular door, but I think it was more of like a drill.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I remember that part. I noticed that little symbol, like that little face, was right by that door too, like a switch on that door. Like I noticed that face pop up a couple times, so I don't know if that face is gonna like be like his just Lucas's symbol or something, but
Right.
that
So
some shit's gonna happen.
Do you think he's working for, or do you think he's working for someone? Like, is he working for Old Umbrella, or
I think he's just crazy.
do you think it's his own separate thing, not even
I don't-
related to?
Because in the main story, like the main game, did he talk about like working for someone?
I thought in the paperwork there was something about like someone hired him, but it's
Yeah.
been months since we played.
That's true. I kind of want to go back and play that.
That'd be fun.
I'll get there eventually. Only 6 more
Like,
games
actually, like-
beforehand.
Sit down and read all the lore and stuff like that in the game.
Right.
There's I was telling Trevor, if you want to sit down and read a lot of lore for Resident Evil 5 has a lot of that. But as far as that game goes, where can you? There's a few places you can go to kind of read up on what fans think about it is. But it would be interesting because what another funny thing is they brought up during the DLC their trailer that Lucas was their only connection. Or right? Is that how they said it? Like Lucas is
I
our
don't
only
even remember.
connection. Lucas is our only connection to blah 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 blah. So
So basically, what happened?
right. So I
Or-
don't feel like you're going in there to kill him. I feel like you definitely need to have him live.
You're and capture him,
Yes.
That's
interrogate. I could see that.
Yeah, because he's the only member of the family still alive.
Other than quote unquote Zoe, apparently.
So we.
Right. So yeah, that's a good time to transition. So from what they said from the synopsis there, like, Zoe is pretty much gonna die. Or that's how you leave off in 7. Like you take what's her name? Who's the girlfriend wife? Lady.
Oh my gosh, you asked me too quick. Ethan's the husband. She wasn't important enough to remember her name. Evelyn was the bad guy. I can't remember. No, you asked me too quick.
I want to say Emily, but I don't think that's right because I think I'm thinking of Evelyn.
Now I'm gonna look it up. So you guys do you. I'm finding.
Yeah. So while you look that up, so you leave her behind. You leave Zoe behind on the docks or whatever, and you just expect she's gonna die. Mia. There it is.
Yep, that's it. There we go.
So you and Mia go off on the boat, and Zoe's just left to die. But then in the trailer, you see her kind of wandering through the woods, and then eventually she goes all like crystal, moldy, whatever it is,
right.
And then it kind of falls over. And then there's this other random dude that we haven't seen before, this like survival wilderness guy, and he just comes and like picks her up.
Who totally looks like part of the family, though. Like totally fits that family.
Really?
Yeah, I think he looks very much like a grandpa or something like that.
Right.
Maybe he was part of the family and he like saw this crazy shit going down. He's like, yeah, I'm out.
Could be. It's all, you know what? It might be an uncle. I feel like that's always an uncle thing. Like there's always an uncle somewhere, and I feel like that might be an uncle.
Well, if there's, what was the grandma's name?
That crazy.
Evelyn?
No.
Yeah.
The main bad guy, Evelyn. Yeah.
Well,
or the dad's or Jack's wife.
Oh, the wife?
like the old lady that was in the wheelchair.
Evelyn.
That one.
That was Evelyn.
Yeah.
That was the whole plot twist.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, never mind. Yeah, never mind. I was going to say because what if that old dude was the grandpa, like you were saying, and he was like figuring everything out, and he's like, "Oh, nope, I'm not doing this," and saw.
But he kind of looks like he's the same age as Jack too. Like he doesn't look like he's super old.
Probably an uncle then. I'm gonna go with Tim. Say it's an uncle. Uncle.
If he's related at all. If
Jim.
he's not just like a random dude that
Uncle
lives in
Jim.
the woods.
That's what I'm
Jim.
calling it now. Jim.
He could just be a swamp man and just
It could
lives out
be.
in the
He
swamp.
could be one of those
Just a friendly neighborhood swamp man.
Louisiana swamp man. Yep.
But yeah, so for whatever reason, he just decides to pick up this dead girl and
Dead, crystallized, moldy.
right. So I mean, I feel like he has to know something about it. Like you wouldn't just like pick someone up like that, like nonchalantly,
Right.
if he didn't have an idea as far as what's going on. So
I think
feel like
he's
he
got
has.
some idea.
He's got some ties, or he's seen this before with what's been going on with that family.
So to kind of put it back to like to Zoe, if you look at her, her hair went white, her clothes went white for some reason. That has an effect on clothing, which is odd in
course.
itself.
Don't
But
you know?
her skin is pale. But unlike all the other characters, like Margaret and all them, when they died, they also dissipated into like an ash substance. She did not. She went a little lifeless, sure, but she didn't dissipate.
True.
So that leads to me to believe that I'm sure she's alive.
Yeah, like you wouldn't just have a DLC for her to, I don't know, not be alive, right?
Maybe Evelyn didn't actually kill her. You know, that's the thing. Like maybe Evelyn didn't kill her. Maybe she was about to kill her, right? Okay, so maybe Evelyn was about to kill her, but right as she was about to kill her or something, that's when Evelyn had to go and mess with Ethan because Ethan was getting, what's her face?
Too
fat.
close.
Yeah, too close.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
so yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking
Could be.
wheels are turning.
It'd be interesting to see Zoe's end of the storyline, like while what was going on with
Yeah.
Ethan.
Right.
It'd be interesting. Very
I mean,
interesting.
for $15, it has to play a pretty big role in the story. I would think they wouldn't just have like a little mini game
Right.
kind of
no.
thing if if it wasn't important.
I feel so bad for that family.
Dude,
Every
me
time I think about
too.
their family, like,
Oh my
they were just an
gosh.
innocent family helping out a child, or
A
thing.
BOW.
It wasn't even a BOW. I guess it wasn't really a child. It made them think it was a child, but whatever.
Right.
Like they were just helping. Poor family.
I
That was
still want
sad.
Jack Baker in Marvel's Capcom Infinite, please.
I would
Thank
buy
you.
it.
Oh,
That would
yeah.
be sweet.
Everyone's
That
still like. I think out of the poll of new characters, Jack Baker was very high on the list.
That'd be awesome.
That
That'd
would
be
be
great.
pretty cool. And they could still have like future DLC for that.
Let's hope so.
I feel like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite's going to be one of those Street Fighter things where they're going to remake it a bajillion times and just have more characters every time they remake it.
Well, they already said that they're gonna make it a platform,
Yep. Okay. There we go.
like how Street Fighter Five is. Street Fighter Five is
Yeah.
a platform, and we have Arcade Edition coming out in January. I'm excited. But anyways, yeah, that story of that family was super tragic.
It was.
It's
And-
heartbreaking.
And
You don't know that until like the very end almost, and you're just like, oh, I said so
Yeah.
many bad things to these people.
When you go into like that like alternate dimension sort of
Yeah.
thing, the head case thing. Oh man,
Yeah.
that had me real sad.
Like,
you sit down and like talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
just, man, just thinking of that right now, I'm getting super sad.
I know, right? Like I'm holding my chest right now. Just
So where do you think this, regardless of how the DLC turns out, where do you think this leads the series?
Well,
to. I hope it leads to our awesome survival Resident Evil game that I pitched to everyone in the last podcast.
yes, yes,
Right.
agree.
No joke.
I think
No.
what's interesting about it is, so Evelyn was a BOW, right?
Yes.
Created and being transported. Things went awry, didn't get to where she needed to go. So with Umbrella being gone, new Umbrella being here, which Umbrella's been gone for a while. I think Umbrella's gone since Code Veronica or something like that.
Yeah.
With the new whoever's making and selling and whatnot, with all this jazz going on, it's interesting because Evelyn was the first of its kind. Like Evelyn was a really crazy BOW,
Yeah, she was.
and to like have something like that get out to like an actual buyer could be very crazy
Right.
to see how that would work. But it's hard because as much as I know Resident Evil 7 is in the same universe and everything is going to tie together, it still felt very much like its own thing.
It did. It definitely did. Because
Which
it was a
wasn't
little more.
bad thing.
It was a little more supernatural than it was like
Zombie.
organic. Yeah, I guess you
Yeah.
could say. Is that the right terminology?
Organic. I like that. I like that wording. Whether it works or not, I like the way that works.
It was
And
a little more psychological than
Right. Yeah, that's okay.
upfront.
Yeah.
There we go.
And I really hope that Capcom sees the success of this game and this huge success of this game and takes it as, oh, people like scary games, not action games.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Please bring it back to the
You
old
know.
days.
Like, that would be cool. They could even go, like, I know we're getting a Resident Evil 2 remake, and I can't wait for that, but they could do other stories like this. Like, this stuff happened everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's more places they can go and have more situations like this that could be neat, Like, I really hope we see a lot of those off-branch stories. I hope we see games that are scary again in the Resident Evil series. Like, that's what... This game was so good because it brought that scariness back that we've always been craving for this series. So I want them to continue that way and not get sidetracked and be like, okay, guys, this game worked out so well. Let's do something completely different.
We're gonna make an
Right.
action platformer
Right.
about
like you said,
Albert
like
Wesker. He's back.
Oh, God.
It can work like without the Resident Evil brand behind it. Like you could have just called it anything else and it would have done just as well as its own game. Like you don't have to know that it's part of Resident Evil to enjoy it.
I still remember the first time I saw it. I was pissed.
I
Oh,
was
yeah,
the exact
Trey was
opposite.
livid.
I was stoked.
Yeah, because as soon as that trailer started playing, it was like 20 seconds in. He's like, please don't let this be Resident Evil. And at the very end,
Lo and behold, 7.
Resident
Resident
Evil 7, yep.
Evil.
And see, my whole thought process during that trailer was, I have no idea what this game is, but this looks amazing. Oh my God, this looks freaking great. This is going to be so good. I don't know what this is, but I can't wait. It looks so scary. And it said it was Resident Evil, and I flipped my shit. I was like, oh my God, about time. We're going back. It's going to be
Yep.
scary. Freaking cannot wait.
I remember mine was, oh, they saw how successful PT was, so they're taking that into consideration here.
And I'm okay with this.
I mean, you can't
100%.
blame them. I mean, I would love to see Silent
Oh,
Hill
yeah,
come back in a good way. Silent Hill was
Yeah,
great.
too bad that shit got canceled.
Yeah,
I mean, look at
And that's
this.
the thing, we don't have like AAA horror games really. Like you have Evil Within
don't,
kind of,
yeah.
but it's still like it's not like on par with Silent Hill and Resident Evil, you know?
Oh my god, I'm so mad Silent Hills got discontinued.
I will never forgive you, Konami, for
Never.
everything you've done.
never forget.
Silent Hills was going to be amazing. He was going to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But
With the 2 trailers that we got for it.
right.
And not even, you got the one ending from playing PT and then they only had like 1 trailer for it. But
Right.
it looked so good.
It was just so good.
I think I would like a Resident Evil game that would return back to Raccoon City. I know it's a giant hole, but there's got to be something there.
Something there still.
It's
I
a
think
giant
there's-
hole.
There's got to be something there
There's a lot
that
of
they could do.
a lot of bad things there. It'd be interesting. I mean, they can't clearly if they go back to Raccoon City. I mean, like you said, it's going to be a decimated wasteland.
Oh yeah.
But maybe that would be a good site for a battle royale style game.
Could be. What do you
Like
think,
Operation
Capcom?
Raccoon City.
Yeah, Operation Raccoon City blown up.
Well, is that what that game was called? The really shitty
Yeah.
one?
Well, and it sucked because it was shitty. But it okay. Here's the thing. I
It
like
sucked because it was shitty.
I liked Raccoon City. I did. It was not good. Don't get me wrong. There was definitely lots of bad things about it. Like the functionality of it was kind of piss poor.
It had
but
potential.
the thought potential, yeah, the whole thought process behind it was
Yeah.
freaking genius. And it just didn't execute well. So I'd like to go back to an Outbreak series. I think now with the online capabilities that we have,
Oh god, yeah. For
going to
sure.
an Outbreak series would be perfect right now.
That'd be amazing. Ooh, good point, Tim. Good point.
So I feel like that's the only reason Outbreak 1 and 2 didn't do so well.
Yeah. Watch the
It's
next
kind
PSX are gonna be like, oh, we heard your cry. Outback 3 or Outbreak 3 is coming out now.
That'd be-
Outback Outbreak
Right.
3.
Going to Australia.
That'd be cool.
Zombies
That'd be
in
interesting.
Australia.
well, that's the
Zombie
thing.
kangaroos.
This can be anywhere. I mean, the shit's gone viral. Like it can be anywhere. We could go to Australia. I mean, man, imagine going to Australia with the dangers they already have before this shit.
Right? Thought the
Like-
spiders are big then.
Yeah.
How about with the T virus or
right? The G
the
virus,
Zero virus or
freaking
whatever? Yeah.
all that crap.
Why has no one ever done a survival game in Australia? I feel like that
Because
that
it's
kinda
a
makes
survival
sense.
game in itself.
Right. It's already.
That's
a
what I'm
survival
saying.
game.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, why hasn't no one made a game about it?
I don't know. We'll be
I
the
don't know.
first. Let's
It
start
just
it
seems
up.
to fit.
Let's do it. We're
We
starting our
keep giving
GoFundMe.
people too many good ideas.
For Australia, the Outback Outbreak.
Outback Outbreak.
Outback
that's
Let's
its
do
name.
it. Let's do it. Let's make it. Well,
Come on,
that's-
Capcom, partner with us.
But that's my thoughts, at least on the Resident Evil thing so far. I can't wait. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be good. I mean, we're only a couple months away, and I'm sure we'll be diving deep into that for sure. I'm hoping it's
sure.
not too short. Like after they made us.
Wait.
I'm very happy with the way that they handled the DLC to where they said, "Hey, we didn't expect everyone to like this game so much, so we're gonna work on this DLC a little bit longer, just so it's on par with how we made the game."
Yep. I'm
that was
as
good.
long as it's good, I'm super okay with it.
I just hope
that's my only fear is that it's short. It's not going to be connected at all. They're going to leave us on another cliffhanger.
Did it say it was December 12th? I just realized something.
I thought they just said December. I don't know if they gave a date
I
for
think
it.
it was December 12th. Oh my
Okay.
gosh, that's a terrible thing. I'm gonna be
Oh
really,
gosh,
I'm
why?
gonna be really busy because Fallout VR comes out that day as well.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be the last we hear of Tim.
Right. Well, you have to knock out Resident Evil first. It only makes sense.
Yeah, I know. I will because, gosh darn it. Yeah.
Because you you can beat the DLC, but you know you're never gonna be done with
Right,
Fallout
and that
VR.
makes sense. Yeah.
And we're never gonna hear from Tim ever again.
Oh, I'll be gone.
Lost in the VR. It was nice knowing you, buddy.
It was. they're supposed to be porting Resident Evil 7 to the HTC Vive, which I'll be enjoying.
Oh, nice.
I heard that. Yeah, they were bringing it to. I thought they were bringing it to both.
Yeah, it's going to be VR on PC, so if you have a valid VR headset, it'll work.
Oops.
Yeah, that would be. We'll have to do some Let's Plays of that for
Can
sure.
you please play it in VR, Trevor?
Me?
Yes.
I think I played the entirety of 7. Trevor was watching.
I played some of it.
Oh, yeah.
Trevor
and then you
played
got
the very
scared
beginning
and you were
when he
like,
got out of
nope.
the car.
Yeah, because eventually, like once you see so many of them molded, it's like you said, it's just not scary.
Right. I
Man,
want to see
I
Trevor in that.
I honestly wish they would bring back zombies to Resident Evil. Just traditional zombies, like they come out, like you see something dead on the floor, you walk up to it, it's not dead, you walk past it and it grabs your leg, something. I want that OG scare. I want those zombie Dobermans chasing after you. I want all of that classic feel. The molded are cool. I just wish there were more types of the molded.
Just Resident Evil 2 remake, man. So stoked for that.
Look, I wanted Resident Evil 3 remake already. That's my favorite one.
Well, we'll get that after Resident Evil 2.
I want Nemesis in HD.
Right.
That was my biggest scare in all of video games. The first time he crashes through that window, I threw my controller. I screamed at the top of my lungs.
And he always did it at the most inconvenient times.
Of course.
And he could pop up anywhere, right?
Basically.
Basically, yeah.
They're just like doing whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not like a triggered thing at a certain time or location. It's just.
I remember watching speedrunners play it, and they hate it because they think they know when he spawns, but then he spawns completely different areas, and they're like, "Gosh darn it!" It's so funny. Yes.
That was a genius mechanic for the Resident Evil series, like the pursuer mechanic. That was
Oh yeah.
freaking smart.
Well, it adds that layer of fear where you don't know
You're never
where
safe.
he's at. Yeah, exactly.
The only place you're safe is in a safe room. That's it.
You should. I mean, in my opinion, you should never feel safe in a horror game. Like that's the whole point. Is that you don't have that safe unless it's like a save room like that. That makes sense. But I mean, like actually playing the game, you should never feel comfortable.
Agreed.
Oh shit! You know what? We didn't even talk about this. Who did Mia work for?
So.
Oh, me and Tim kind of talked about that a little bit today.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly. That's another reason to go back and play it, right? Because she definitely worked for some. That's where the whole transporting of the BOW came from, right? Was
Yeah,
her,
she was like the security, right?
Right, she was helping transport the BOW, but I don't remember who she worked for. So I need to go back and look at all this stuff because then that will answer what who's basically taken over the Umbrella's part of this whole thing and all that jazz. So I'm
Tricell and all that.
Yeah, Tricell. Tricell's a bunch of dicks because they're just like, oh, we're gonna make an incident and then we're gonna clean it up, coming in like the good guys. Mm-hmm.
So dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions that I have that hopefully this DLC will answer. Like, how did Ethan and Mia meet? Ethan's got to be somewhat important, and I still think Ethan was a part of that whole Resident Evil 5, the scientist who died or whatever, list. Because Ethan W. was on the list there.
But he didn't die.
Exactly.
Or
so
it
could be a cover-up of a cover-up.
Ethan!
Because you know Umbrella likes to do that.
They do. Good old...
More clones. It's always a clone.
They're all clones.
Right.
I want to know where Jill's at. I want to know where Leon's at in this. We'll find out, man. I'm excited.
Yep.
Yeah, only a couple more months and we'll get some more info.
That's the coolest part of Resident Evil 6, Trey. When we get to play Resident Evil 6, when we do Leon's campaign or Chris's campaign, the coolest part of that whole game is when Chris and Leon finally meet.
Nice.
It's a cool part.
Oh, yeah, because they've technically actually never met, right?
Up until then, right? Leon's met Claire. Claire's Chris' sister, so Chris knows of Leon. But that's the first time that they actually meet, and it's awesome.
Yeah. I'm kind of excited now.
Yeah.
Even though the game is bad.
It is.
We'll do some quality zombie time with Tim and Trey.
Yep. It'll be good. And it's a good time. We'll do that for sure.
That sounds good to me.
That seems like a good place to wrap it up. So, thanks for joining us for 20 episodes. It's been an awesome ride. We can't wait till we hit 200. So we'll keep keep these weekly podcasts up for you guys. Definitely let us know what you think of the shorter format. We'll keep them up if you guys like them, or if we need to go back to longer podcasts, we can do that too. Whatever you guys find fits you best. And also, if you're listening to this the week it comes out, this Friday we have our Extra Life charity stream starting on the 27th. We'll be going live at 9 p.m., going for 36 hours straight. Going to be playing games the whole time. We've got an awesome lineup. We're going to be giving away Assassin's Creed Origins. We've got some indie games, original artwork. You can even buy some charity shirts that'll go into our donations as well. So we've got a lot of cool things going on, so make sure you tune in. We'll be going for 36 hours on twitch.tv/forallmanakind.
Oh, yeah,
so make sure you
girl.
tune in, just hang out with us. Every donation counts. We're going to try and raise at least $1,000 for these kids at Nationwide Children's. So we definitely love your support. Even if you can't donate, help share what we're doing, spread the word on socials, or even just come in and hang out with us. We'd love to have you. And then in the meantime, you can always check us out on our socials for more information of what we got coming up on our YouTube channel. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and as always, Twitch. We've got someone streaming every day of the week now. So thanks for tuning in again for 20 episodes, and we'll see you next week at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Later, guys.
Have a good night.